Paavo Järvi wird nächste Saison 12 Wochen beim Tonhalle-Orchester Zürich sein. Wir haben mit ihm gesprochen, wie er die erste Saison beendet hat und wie er die zweite nun angehen wird. Paavo, in the middle of the CD production of Tchaikovsky, there was Corona. So how is this project going to continue?
We have 2 more symphonies to finish and a couple short pieces before the whole cycle is finished. What we had to do, instead of releasing the whole cycle as a one-box set, now we had to kind of think quickly on our feet and see how we could still go on with the project and release now a single CD as a kind of an appetizer, if you will.
You had planned for the next season to do a Mendelssohn box. Now, how are those plans moving forward?
We haven't changed anything, and we will continue with the Mendelssohn cycle, which is something that I actually very much am also looking forward to. If nothing more dramatic happens in the world, we are on track.
So why did you choose Mendelssohn?
You know, Mendelssohn is, first of all, one of my personal favorites. I sort of, not only I love his music, but it speaks to me in a way that very few composers do. And I find that Mendelssohn, in a way, even though everybody knows the violin concerto and maybe a couple of other pieces, Italian symphony, so seems to not really get the attention it deserves. Mendelssohn was one of those geniuses, young geniuses, maybe for me one of the 3 kind of truly gifted child prodigies, if you will, who wrote some of their best music as very young people. Mozart, Bizet, and Mendelssohn. And both, of course, Mozart needs no introduction. Bizet is famous for its Carmen. But Mendelssohn, it's not universally as appreciated, I think. This orchestra, I think, having a strong classical tradition and having a very wonderful sound and very special string sound and so on, I think would be such a perfect orchestra for a Mendelssohn cycle.
Talking about the next creative chair, last year we had Erkki Sventur, a compatriot of yours. Next year we have another compatriot. A small country, Estonia, so many gifted talents, musicians. Why the choice of Arvo Pärt?
Arvo Pärt is one of the most original and creative figures in the classical, or I should say new music scene. Arvo Pärt, by the way, is one of the most performed composers, living composers of our time, and he also happened to be a very close friend of our family, of me, and he was here for the beginning of the season, even wrote a piece or rewrote a piece for us. And with Arvo, it's a very unique thing when he actually comes up with something, and it will be a special moment in the life of and the history of this orchestra.
We have invited 2 focus artists, or 3 in that sense. Can you tell us why you chose them, Olli Mustonen and the Labec sisters?
Olli Mustonen, I find, is one of the most original and hard to label artists, and that's why I like him very much. He's a superior musician, superior composer, pianist, now also a conductor, and a very original personality. And I thought that this would be yet another opportunity to go out of the sort of mainstream box. Labec sisters, of course, they don't really need any introduction because they have been kind of iconic figures in the music scene for a long time, and as personalities and as representatives of the art of duo piano playing, there are probably no equal.
One of your projects was as a music director to install a conductors academy. It did not take place now in the first season here. So what do we expect in the second year now?
For me, I think that part of our mission as an orchestra of classical music and orchestra that serves the audience, but we also are educators. We also need to be the ones who promote music and promote and help younger musicians. I think that it's not about just finding the right talent, it's also what is being taught. But there are misconceptions of conductor. If it's a musical enough person, it can conduct. No, it's not the case. I've seen very musical people, in fact, extraordinary musicians who, when they step in front of the orchestras, are totally unable to communicate their musical ideas. So it's a question of having the technique, having the right guidance, having the right step-by-step, long-term nurturing of a talented person. And I think that the Conducting Academy, therefore, is not a vanity, it is of incredible importance.
You are in a lockdown situation as well now for the last 3 months. What do you take from that situation for your future?
I personally felt that it was a sort of a gift. It's only for me. I am incredibly aware how tragic and how horrible a lot of people's fate was during that time, and I don't take any of this lightly. For me, the last couple of years have been so intense that I literally felt that I am just running behind and never being able to catch up with myself, so to speak, and having sort of a kind of a force majeure, really forced to sit down and do nothing, makes you realize that there are other things in life and it gives you a chance to think. It created the right balance and in a way allowed me to listen to music, to study music, allowed me to read, allowed me to see other things which have to do with the rest of the world, but most importantly self-reflection and looking inside and seeing what is the value of running around, and at the end who benefits from you being just totally busy all the time, and how the music making can improve if you are actually taking a little bit of time to yourself.
Anyhow, we benefit from you being here, and we look very much forward to the next season. Thank you very much.
Thank you.